Hey everybody, it's Crystal B, and I'm back to talk to you about the December Sagittarius new moon eclipse. And this is going to be a really momentous event astrologically. I have been excited about this eclipse, which is going to register in as a total solar eclipse, meaning that it is of the greatest magnitude, the greatest intensity. It's a new moon, but there is a lot of extra power that's chalked behind it. And this really is going to be fueled with Sagittarius optimism, Sagittarius, possibility. And despite the difficulty of the year, this eclipse is going to be reminding us to think about the positives, to think about the possibilities, to know that there is more out there, that we aren't going to get, sucked into all the negativity forever. And it really is a great time to just not only honor how far you've come, but also begin to think about and get re energized into where you're going to plant your seeds next. Sagittarius is the sign of the great optimist. Sagittarius is also the sign that likes to shoot for the stars. It loves to think about all of the things that are going to go right versus all of the things that are going to go wrong. And we've definitely seen so many things go wrong in 2020, but it's now time to start thinking about all of the things that have the possibility of going right. And even though there are still some difficult, combinations that we still have to get through, that's life, right? It's never going to be entirely easy. There's always going to be some sort of strife that is going to surround us. But we can, think about the next. We can start thinking about where we're going to shoot our arrows as we head into 2021. And when I look at the picture, because remember, I'm not just coming up with all of this information, I'm not just pulling it out of my head or out of a crystal ball. I really am looking at the way that the planets are aligned at the time of the lunation, at the time of the lunar event. And when we think about this lunation, we're going to have the sun and the moon, of course, touching each other. And that's always the case at any new moon stage. And they're going to be ripe in the sign of Sagittarius, 23 degrees Sagittarius. Mercury, the planet of communication, is going to be touching the sun and the moon, creating a lot of additional information, good information coming out. And Sagittarius, when it comes to Mercury and Sagittarius, he wants to be optimistic. He wants to, kind of be big, share things in a big kind of way. You might see even some things getting a little bit exaggerated at this time. Your feelings may become exaggerated. Your optimism may become exaggerated. But the fact of the matter is that we all need a little optimism. So there's nothing wrong with that at this stage. But we just have to listen to the planets. And what they're also saying is that this combination is squaring Neptune. So let's just be careful about how far we want to reach, or, how far we think we can go. Like always, just kind of, Neptune is nebulous. Neptune is known for wearing rose colored glasses, for preventing us from seeing things clearly. Thankfully, he's now moving direct, which is helping things out. But he's still, he's always gonna, try to enchant us a little bit. So just be careful about getting a little bit too caught up in the enchantment. But supporting this new moon, not only is Mercury supporting the moon and the sun, but Mars is supporting them. And Mars is the planet of courage and of, bravery. And let's just get on with it. Let's go. And he's operating in the sign of Aries, sign that he's been in for, since the summertime. And of course, we've dealt with a lot of the trials and tribulations of Mars because he's been going retrograde. He went retrograde in September, October, and some of November. But thankfully, he's moving direct now, and he's, pushing us forward. And he's fueling this, new moon, this total solar eclipse along. And he's saying, you can do it. Now, he also realizes that there is some hard work that's attached to this because Mars is in square still with Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn. But the nice thing about this trio that was such a problem to us in 2020, this trio is now getting ready to split apart because Saturn and Jupiter are in their almost their last degree. Saturn is actually in the 29th degree. Jupiter will be getting into the 29th degree one day after this eclipse. So what they're doing is they're in the very last degree of Capricorn and they're getting ready to move into totally new terrain, which is Aquarius. So again, there's something about the next here. There's something about, let's go on with it. Let's get on with it. Let's get into the next. I've always thought that this eclipse was what delivered the vaccine because it definitely shows optimism. It shows let's get on to the next. It shows that we're at a massive turning point because Jupiter and Saturn are in this last degree of Capricorn. And anytime a major planet is in the last degree of a sign, it really means that a major turning point is on the way. And so from a collective standpoint, I think that this delivers the vaccine. And from a personal standpoint, there are turning points for all of us. We are ready to put 2020 behind us and move on into the next. And this eclipse should fuel you to do it. Are things going to be entirely easy? No. But this is life, right? But we also need to maintain and hold on to hope for a better tomorrow. And this is what this planetary story is saying. So go after whatever it is that you want, shoot for the stars, make sure that you keep your awareness open. Eclipse portals are times where energy is super high, energy is, filled with Sagittarius optimism. Just be mindful of that Neptunian influence, but also be listening to messages, also be listening to, any sort of sign as to where your new chapters are blooming, because this is the stage where new chapters are igniting. It may be a little bit intense right now because we are still in the eclipse cycle, but just there are so many signs that are coming at us, flying at us, shooting at us, that are really kind of saying, this is it. This is where we're going next. And, start thinking about that Aquarius outside the box energy, because where you go next may have a flavor of something outside the box. All right, everybody, enjoy where your total solar eclipse beginnings take you. Stay safe and stay well. Until next time. Bye-bye.